Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. Today we're going to be talking about Valorant Patch Notes 4.0. Yes, this is the big update where we get to see Neon, buy-in changes, breeze changes, a lot more weapon updates, and some comp updates as well. Now you might be wondering, my voice sounds a bit different. That's also probably because I'm currently recording this at 1 a.m. So I'm going to be a bit quieter than normal. And in another video, I'll be testing out Neon, seeing how she is and what I think about her, and I'll be also looking at the battle pass and her contract as well. So let's get started with the patch notes, and I'll do all the gaming stuff later today, quote unquote, later today. So obviously we'll start off with Neon. Obviously Neon is now live, and as what I've been seeing from videos from other content creators, she is incredibly OP. So maybe expect some changes, like most likely some nerfs coming in her way at some point. Probably at patch 4.01, which is probably gonna be maybe where Yoru's gonna be in. Even though I think Riot said that the Yoru buffs are probably gonna be coming in around 4.0, so 4.03. So, and apparently also the Yoru changes are going to be like Viper's change when she was really shit, and then Riot made her basically a must pick, and she was incredibly OP. So just imagine that Yoru's buff is going to be incredibly OP. That in a couple patches later, they have to tweak it and nerf it a tiny bit. So for your Yoru mains out there who still exist, you're going to be fine. For your Phoenix mains though, probably not. Um, Obviously, actually, you know what? I'll talk about her abilities, right? Oh, okay, never mind, does not exist. Never mind. So basically, her abilities is basically Phoenix's wall, but two walls. So it's basically literally just a tunnel. It actually does damage enemies. I don't know how much though, so I need to probably have a look at that in the practice range. There's obviously a concussion mine thing. Well, not really a concussion mine thing, but like, well, it obviously stuns the enemy, so it's kind of like the shock dart, I guess, of Sova. Supposedly no bow, and you only get to bounce it off one wall. So you can bounce it off a wall. Maybe let's say in hookah, you can bounce on the left, and it will concuss the wall and where it lands on the ground. So it's kind of just like a double stun, if you can really say that. Her ability is basically just a little like a dash, kind of like a little like infinite dash, I'll say. You do have two charges of a slide, so you can slide past a choke point or something, or slide past like a corner, and you can just kill the enemy like that. There's obviously a bug for Neon, and I don't know if it's fixed or not, but hopefully it is fixed. Her ultimate is kind of like do you guys if you guys know Overwatch and you know Echo, it's kind of like her focus beam, you know, where it locks onto the enemy, so like you can have like great tracking and just locks onto the enemy. That's basically Echo Neon's ultimate, but it's always lightning, and I think you can obviously tap it if you really want to. The interesting part is that it is infinite, and there's a little bar, so it's kind of like Viper's smoke toxic thing. So it's kind of like that, but electricity. So um, that's only used for her main ability, which is a dash, quote unquote dash, and her ultimate. It does not affect the two stuns or the wall. I don't think it affects any of those. But that's Neon all done. Let's now get on with the weapon updates. Now, if you love knifing people, you're going to love this. So the melee has been too tricky to aim with, making it tough to rely on. So we've updated both left and right click melee attacks for more reliable agent whacking action. The right click hitboxes are now 1.5 times larger. Left click hitboxes are now larger than a right click and have a slightly longer range too. Target closer to the center of your knife attacks will get hit first, so you still have precision if you need it. And as a bonus, knife-hit walls now have instant feedback when slicing up walls, predicting on the client side. So that's a really good change. I'm happy that they're finally making some melee changes. I'm really, really happy about that. The Spectre. Now, obviously, the Spectre has been a pretty big problem, especially around the running gunning stuff, and it's just become a massive meme. And Riot has obviously done this. So according to, I think this is Jeff Lander, if I remember correctly, it says the Spectre's versatility makes us happy, but it was overperforming in long-range engagements and was too powerful even within its intended close range and mobile scenarios. By making the accuracy error come in a bit earlier and switching yours more often, we hope it will make it more difficult to get kills and spraying over a long range. Likewise, the close range sprays will require more control to be effective. So the firing error occurs at earlier bullet stages. For example, instead of error occurring at bullets 4, 7, and 10 in terms of firing order, they will instead happen at bullets 3, 6, and 8. So if you're on the third bullet, the sixth bullet, or the eighth bullet, the error will occur. Increase the pitch and yaw, the vertical and horizontal recoil multipliers when running slash jumping slash on a center from 1.25 to 1.5. So that's just a bit of an increase. So I think means it's a bit harder to, I guess, to control the recoil. Protected bullet count from yaw, which is the horizontal, switching while spraying in decrease from 8 to 5 bullets. I don't really know what that means. I think that just means that um, I don't actually know what that means. It means something, I know that. It definitely affects when you're like running horizontally. So I think it makes it a little bit more unpredictable, but I might be wrong. The lowering time to switch yaw from 0.24 to 0.18 seconds, so it'll be a lot faster. While spraying, the time you have until you could switch yours, which is a horizontal movement, again, is lower, meaning it can happen more often. So earlier it was like a kind of like a least likely chance, or a little bit maybe up to the possible side. Now it's most likely going to be happening. The change that everyone is questioning why this exists. The Ares. Now expect, with this, the Ares is going to be incredibly OP, where you don't even need an AR, you don't even need a Vandal or a Phantom, and Ares is basically the gun for you. This may replace the Spectre of being the budget gun, so expect the Ares obviously be played a lot more in comp and in pro play. Because of these changes, remove the spin up. Now I don't really know what that means. Obviously there was something about the spin up, and if I can try and find the Korean Valorant video, that'd be fantastic. But if not, that'd be fun. I could probably watch it when I get to play the game. And the fire rate has been increased from 10 to 13, so expect this gun to melt basically everyone. Even if you have armor, it will melt you instantly. So Ares, watch out for that gun, because that's possibly going to be the next budget gun like the Spectre was. Next up is the Guardian. Now, the Guardian's also made some changes. As I forgot to read the Ares description. Alongside changes to the Spectre, we hope to improve the feel and power of the Ares and take it out of the shadows of other weapons in its price tier. For the Guardian, it says the Guardian doesn't need the fire rate penalty compared to its fully automatic counterparts, so we're removing it. Adding another bullet before it starts to get unstable should make the weapon feel much more proficient at tapping shots and improve its overall effectiveness in a fight. So basically they have removed the firing error penalty on the ADS, so if you aim down sights, that's basically going to be gone. So it'd be just like aiming without an ADS. And added an extra bullet before it enters a recovery curve. Now, I don't really know which bullet count that is, but it is now there. So that's going to be So it got one pretty big buff to the Ares, a pretty big nerf to the Spectre, even though I feel like the running gun, as what I've seen on videos, this hasn't really done a lot. And then the Guardian probably is also probably going to be played a lot more. Another one which I think is going to be played a bit more is the Bulldog. We've given the Bulldog some love to help make it feel like a better buy in those situations when you might need a cheaper but versatile rifle option. So the hip fire rate increased from 9.5 to 10, and the recovery on burst improved from 0.4 to 0.35. Inaccuracy is occurred anytime the weapon is refired prior to a complete duration of a weapon's respective gun recovery time. Lower recovery time should improve burst fire efficiency. So if you aim down sights, expect it to probably be a bit more damage like, a bit poo 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 like that. Next up, it is the map updates. Now, there's been two maps that have been changed. One, not that drastic, one, basically a rework. So the first one is Bind, and this is obviously the big one right here. A short has been drastically changed, and their playstyles will be a lot more different. They got rid of the one-way smoke box, so for your one-way smokers like Astra, Bram, Omen, say goodbye to the one-way to the one-way smoke, because that's going to be no more, as they'll be replacing it with, I guess, little stepping blocks, well, boxes. So you will be able to get on top of these. It'll be interesting to see how people play around them. The double stack of cover at A short has been changed to remove a very powerful one-way smoke location that made this area a little too difficult for attackers to approach. Sentinels will still be able to clog the space, but the new layout should open a few options for attackers pushing in. I think it also means that tower will be, so if you're like in short and you're looking at tower, it will be a lot more out there. You'll be able to see it more clearer than just having a box right in front of you. So it's kind of like a buff on both sides. Attackers will be a lot more easier to push, while for defenders will be a lot easier for them to spot the attackers entering A short. Another one which hasn't really been talked about a lot is this part where they added some benches at the back. There's also a small new bench for mix-up when taking that first peek. I don't know if it's really going to do much, to be honest. It's probably going to do very, very little. But I don't think this change really was needed, but maybe it actually does do a massive change. Next up, Breeze. Now, this is where everyone's going to be talking about it, and I'll be giving my opinion about it as well. I'd like to also hear your guys' opinion about these Breeze changes, because these are massive. So this is basically what the choke point of B. Oh my god. A. Okay, there we go. God, I get the size confused because normally A is in the left and B's on the right, and they swapped it around and Breeze, and it pissed me off. So, we got the choke point at A, how it was before this patch, and now this is what it looks like now. The walls have been a lot thicker. They have eliminated, they removed the 50/50s, where you have to choose which location the opponent might be located. So they got rid of that, which is fantastic. I love that. Which makes it a lot more easier for attackers to push up. So it says here, increase the width of the A main choke and remove 50/50s. Just like I said, where you must choose one or two locations an opponent must be located. This should give defenders more options when playing around A main. It also moves to 50/50 when both entering or exiting the cave, allowing you to be more methodical. There we go. I don't know how you say it. When pushing. So basically great for both of the sides, both attackers and defenders. An actual good thing for the attackers is an extra box right here, just for cover. Added a stack of 2 crates in the cave. This provides some cover for attackers pushing the cave while also giving defenders more options for contesting the space. Now this is the massive one right here. The changes on A side. And oh my god, I love it so much. Everyone has been complaining about this little tiny spot right here near near these 2 crates. Well, they made it into a site, and it's actually not pennable as well, so you can't wallbang it, which is amazing. adjusted cover on the A back of A side and extended the pool to the far wall, so all this will now be part of A side. The cover changes should give defenders both a safe place to fall back to and move and more cover on retakes. Extending the pool should make playing in this space more comfortable, and the planned side extension is also to match the new shape of the pool. Now, obviously, this crate is also here as well. This is basically, I guess, like more vertical gameplay and a little bit easier for people to get up on this. Um, and also just to hold, I guess, a new angle as well while looking in cave or in mid or wherever really. So it's just a new angle opportunity for defenders or even attackers as well. Next one is a change that not a lot of people have really been talking about, but it doesn't really show it, but it's they've adjusted the curve wall in mid. This change just simplifies the space and removes the extra pocket. So it's not really like a big change, really. I mean, this is what well what's going to look like now. I think it's just been moved a bit more forward. So it used to be like pretty back right here. You can see by like this space right here, and in the above the wall is now been extended a bit. So it'll be just a bit more extended. I think it's also so it's just so they can eliminate corners on here, I guess. Now this is another big one, and this B side. B side as a whole has been drastically changed. Added cover to the pillar on B side, blocked off the backside with a new wall, and added a stack of crates to B wall. The new cover on the pillar allows for new pre and post plant opportunities. So I think this might be, I think it might be either that box or this. No, this is it. Adjust the backside breaks the head peak to B main, while also giving players new cover to work with. This new cover should be useful when falling back and retaking, which I love this change as well. This also means that the B side will be smaller than previous ones, as it was up. Actually, I don't think it actually was. It just feels a bit smaller now with like the walls being a lot closer and this little box right here as well. So basically, it feels a bit smaller, but I think it is just the same. It is exactly the same. They just eliminated this little staircase right here, and they just added a staircase over here and a little wall, which is actually really good for defenders. A big buff to the defenders. The new stack of crates limits some angles from B main, gives new options when holding or retaking, and should break up some awkward fights that can occur on thin walls. So this is just so it just it's just cover. Door on A can no longer be reactivated until it's finished opening or closing. So that's just I mean that's also another thing that not a lot of people actually saw. I mean I didn't see it until now. I did not know that they actually added this. So basically I guess we just need to wait until it's opened or like fully opened or fully closed, which is a pretty good change, I'll be honest. Next up, it is competitive. As the map and agent pool has increased, it's become increasingly difficult for new players to effectively learn and play Valorant. However, we haven't made any changes to when players are able to access our most competitive experience. We believe everyone should take time to learn the ins and outs of core gameplay, and have ample exposure to all the maps and agents Valorant will throw at you before competing in our ranked experience. To force this learning period, we've decided to add an account level requirement to play in comp. That account level, it is level 20. So starting with patch 4.0, accounts that have to yet to play in ranked are required to reach account level 20 before they are able to re-enter queue or comp queue. Basically, it was originally, I think, you had to win 5 games or 10 games, something stupid like that, where most games that I played on FPS is a requirement level to be in. Luckily now they have done that, and you have to be level 20. For players who have not reached level 20 but has already started playing comp, you are still able to play in ranked, which is a pretty good change. I'll be honest. I'm glad they've actually added that. Reduce the 5-stack rank rating penalty. After gaining our initial data on 5-stack and rank, we realized we may have been bit too we may have been too harsh on the penalty you receive to your RR gain/losses while in a 5-stack. Match variance for 5-stack is equal to non-5 stacks, meaning it's difficult for you to bring in a higher ranking player and potentially boost a lower ranked player. Because of this data, we are reducing the penalties of lower ranks. Diamond 2 and below players will see their rank rating penalty reduced by 25% compared to the current balance. This means the new minimum penalty is 25% reduced gains/losses compared to the previous 50%. We only made this change for ranks, not breaking into or on the leaderboard to help maintain leaderboard integrity. And finally, for competitive, increase map randomization. Increase our map weights, which should lead to an increase in map variety and reduction in map duplicates from match to match. So you won't get 5 splits in a row. You will just, get this spaced out, like split, a fracture, a breeze, a scent, a bind, all those ones which should have been a thing, I'll be honest, at the very start, but I mean, whatever. Now we'll go on to the bugs. Fix an issue where the singularity kill counter was not updated visually. In esports features, coaches should no longer experience the issue where swapping targets with number key/mouse occasionally fails. Thanks Rubwiz for the report. And yes, we all love this wide joy picture, but sadly, it has to go. We love her too, but we're going to have to fix that banner. But not until patch 4.01. So have fun until it lasts. This beloved banner will be fixed at patch 4.01, which is incredibly sad. A meme is about to be dead. So I'll be back. I just need to find out if the Korean Valorant YouTube channel has updated their patch notes. Wow, it's actually here. So this is indeed the Korean Valorant video for patch 4.0. Now the subtitle's a bit weird. I'll be honest. I actually played it for like the first 5 seconds, and instead of saying Valorant, it said Valorant. So the subtitles might be a bit weird, and I deeply apologize for that. But yeah, enjoy the video. I will shut up and enjoy it.
야, 발로란트 패치너트가 다시 시작됐네. 그래서 날 불렀구나. 반가워, 네온이야. 새로운 에피소드 디스럽션이 시작되는 건 알고 있지? 내가 빠르게 알려줄 테니 잘 들어. 먼저 내 소개를 할게. 어때? 벌써부터 온몸이 찌릿찌릿하지? 자세히 알려줄 테니 잘 봐. 내 기본 스킬 고속 기어는 사용 시 이동 속도가 증가해. 그래서 누구보다 빠르게 달릴 수가 있어. 사용 중 보조 공격을 사용하면 슬라이딩도 가능하지. 슬라이딩은 적을 2번 처치할 때마다 충전돼. 생체 전기 충전량을 다 사용하면 다시 충전될 때까지 시간이 필요하니 참고해. 기어 스킬은 릴레이 볼트. 에너지 볼트를 던져서 표면에 맞을 때마다 지면에 전류를 보내고 릴레이 볼트를 맞는 요원한테는 뇌진탕을 일으켜. 최대 2번 튕길 수 있지. 좁은 곳을 진입할 때 유용하게 사용할 수 있을 거야. 이 장벽은 뭐냐고? 바로 내 C 스킬 추월 차선이야. 스킬을 사용하면 내가 보고 있는 조준선 기준으로 2개의 장벽이 세워지고 적들의 시야를 차단하지. 심지어 장벽을 지나가는 적들은 피해까지 입어. 함부로 지나가지 못할걸? 마지막은 내 궁극기 오버드라이브야. 내가 궁극기를 사용하면 이동 속도가 빨라지고 정확도가 높은 번개 광선을 발사해. 이때 적을 처치하면 궁극기 지속 시간은 증가해. 그리고 궁극기를 사용할 때도 슬라이딩을 사용할 수 있지. 번개의 짜릿함을 선사하마. 다음은 총기 업데이트를 볼까? 먼저 근접 무기야. 주 공격 시 사거리가 늘어났으니 항상 뒤를 조심하라고. 두 번째는 너프를 받은 스펙터. 이제 이동하면서 스펙터를 사용하면 예전처럼 잘 안 맞을걸. RS는 내 전기처럼 빨라졌네. 이전에는 RS를 쓰면 발사 속도가 천천히 올라갔을 텐데 이제는 바로 최대 속도로 RS를 사용할 수 있어. 아, 참고로 최대 속도도 10에서 13으로 버프니까 어때? 괜찮지? 가디언도 바뀌었어. 보조 공격으로 가디언을 사용했을 때 발사 속도가 줄었던 것 알고 있어? 몰랐다고? 이젠 몰라도 될 거야. 보조 공격으로 가디언을 사용해도 속도가 줄지 않도록 변경됐거든. 아, 드디어 끝이 보이네. 마지막으로 버프를 받은 불독이야. 그동안 연사 속도가 느려서 답답했었지? 이번 패치부터 연사 속도가 증가했고 보조 공격의 반동 회복 능력도 좋아졌으니 한번 잘 사용해봐. 맵 변경 소식도 있어. 먼저 바인드부터 살펴보자. 간단하니까 잘 봐. 바인드 A 은신처 앞에 있는 박스가 변경되었고 A 짧은 길 쪽에 작은 벤치가 추가되었지. 끝이야? 대신 브리즈는 정말 많이 바뀌었으니까 똑바로 봐야 돼. A 사이트부터 알려줄게. 피라미드 뒤에 있던 박스가 노란색 컨테이너로 바뀌었어. A 금속 문 앞에 있는 A 스위치도 완전히 올라가고 나서 내릴 수 있게 바뀌었지. 그리고 A 사이트 설치 범위가 늘어나면서 피라미드 옆에 있던 박스가 사라졌고 A 상점과 A 동굴로 통해 들어오는 입구는 좁아지고 벽이 두꺼워졌어. A 동굴의 박스도 새로 생겼으니까 잘 기억하고 B 사이트로 가볼까? 따라와! B 사이트는 사이트와 수비팀 시작 지점 쪽에 있는 벽과 사이트 뒤쪽에서 비창문을 바라볼 수 있는 곳이 바뀌었지. 사이트 안에 네모난 구조물이 생기고 벽 옆에는 박스도 추가됐어. 사이트 뒤쪽은 계단이 사라지고 벽이 생겼는데 어때? 여기 숨기 좋겠는데? 맵 중앙 쪽도 변화가 있어. 중앙 상자 옆에 있던 벽이 앞으로 밀려 나왔어. 여기까지가 브리즈 맵 업데이트야. 마지막으로 시스템 업데이트. 기존에는 일반전 10승을 하면 경쟁전을 시작할 수 있었지. 이제 경쟁전을 처음 시작할 때 10승이 아닌 계정 레벨 20을 달성해야 경쟁전을 돌릴 수 있을 거야. 추가적으로 플레이어들이 좋아할 만한 소식을 가져왔어. 같은 맵만 나와서 짜증났었지? 이제 같은 맵이 잘 안 나오게 확률을 조정했으니 다들 기뻐하라고. 좋아, 설명해줄 거는 다 설명해준 것 같은데 자세한 내용은 홈페이지에서 다시 확인해봐. 좋아요와 구독 눌러주고 다들 새해 복 많이 받으라고.
God, I hate those subtitles. So, yeah, that's really about it for today's video. I know it's a bit of a long one than normal. That's just also because this is a pretty big patch and obviously with a new character and everything. So in the next one, Valorant related, I will be testing out Neon, and I'll be obviously having a look at the battle pass and her contract as well. So that's really about it. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Catch you guys on next time in the next one. Goodbye.
Take all they want from me.